answer to your last question, factorization of x squared minus 3x minus 28 should be x minus 7 times x plus 4. And you could have those switch. You could have plus 4 here and minus 7 here. It doesn't matter. So as long as you have an x plus 4 and an x minus 7, you can always check your answer by multiplying these together. X times x is x squared. Negative 7, or sorry, x times 4 is plus 4x. Negative 7 times x is minus 7x. Negative 7 times 4 is negative 28. Combine your like terms. X squared minus 3x minus 28. Sorry, my hand was probably in the way for most of that. But. Okay, next lesson is solving multi-step equations. Okay, so we'll throw some fractions in here. Get you some practice with fractions. So here we have an equation that says 1/2 x minus 7 equals 2x plus 13/5. Alright, so there'll be a few things involved here. Basically, we're trying to get x by itself. By itself means we're going to have x on one side of the equals and everything else on the other side. So, here comes Violet. She's going to help. What's up? Okay. Take it back to the table. Enjoy. Alright, so before we can get x by itself, we notice there's two x's and they're on opposite sides of our equal sign here. So that means we've got to get one of them off of the side it's on and onto the other side. So, let's go ahead and subtract this 2x because it's positive. So if we want to cancel it out, we subtract 2x. That leaves us with 0 over here. So we can do that. We can do whatever we want to the equation as long as we do it to both sides because that keeps it balanced or equal. So since we took 2x from this side, we're going to take 2x from this side. Okay, so we did minus 2x minus 2x. Cancel here. So now over here we have 1/2 minus 2. 1/2 x minus 2x. Well, in order to subtract 1/2 minus 2, if you have a calculator, that'd be the easiest. Put this in parentheses, 1 divided by 2, in parentheses minus 2. If you don't have a calculator that you can do that, make them both fractions, and you need a common denominator. So, here we're going to do this separately on a separate sheet and come back. So I have 1/2 minus 2 over 1. So to find the common denominator, the easiest way is to multiply your two denominators together. 2 times 1, which is 2. Write a 2 here and a 2 here. We're going to rewrite both of these fractions over 2. So to get the number on the first fraction, we cross multiply from left to right, top to bottom. 1 times 1 is 1. Which makes sense because 1/2 should still be 1/2. For the other fraction, we multiply that way. 2 times 2 is 4. And you'll notice 4 over 2 is the same as 2 over 1 equals 2. Now we can add, or subtract in this case. So you just subtract the top numbers. We don't do anything with the denominator. So 1 minus 4 is negative 3. And the 2 stays the same. So negative 3 over 2. So now we go back to here. So on the left side, we now have negative 3 over 2x. Then we have our minus 7. Minus 7 equals, the 2x is gone, so we're just left with 13 over 5. Okay. Well now, we've got this x, and we want this x by itself. Okay? So it's not by itself because we have a minus 7 and we have a negative 3 over 2. Well, the easiest way to explain which number to get rid of first is if you remember your order of operations. So let's do a mini lesson in order of operations. This is something I don't know if you'll remember or if it even existed many years ago when you were in school, before they had pencils and things. They use this acronym, PEMDAS, which is, they give you this sentence, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Yeah, this is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. It's a little tricky because these two need to be grouped together and these two need to be grouped together, because multiplication doesn't always come before division and addition doesn't always come before subtraction. Okay, these are interchangeable. Just the way you know which one to do first is easy. It's just whichever one comes first in the equation. So if there's a multiplying before a dividing, you do the multiplication. If the division comes before the multiplication, you just do it that way. But parentheses always come before exponents. Exponents always come before these two, and these two always come before these two. So this is for when you're solving a problem. Okay. Now, this is just for simplifying an expression, solving a problem such as 3 times 2 plus 4 squared to the third minus 4 plus 1. Okay, this would just tell us how to do this. It would tell us we do the parentheses first, and inside the parentheses we have addition and exponent, so we would do the exponent first. That would be the first thing we do. Is 4 squared is 16, then we'd add 2 plus 16 is 18. Then we'd raise that to the third power, because that would be the next operation. Then we'd multiply, then we'd subtract, then we'd add. Okay, so when you're solving an equation, when you are eliminating numbers to get x by itself, you do this backwards. Okay? So right here I have negative 3 halves times x. So I have times and I have subtraction. Well, if we look backwards, then subtraction is going to come before multiplication. So I get rid of this subtraction first by adding. You just do the opposite. So I add 7, then I add 7 over here. Well, now we've got another fraction to deal with. So we'll do this on another page. We have 13 over 5 plus 7 over 1. Okay? So we do the same thing. We multiply 5 and 1 to get our common denominator of 5. Okay, and we cross multiply, we get 13, cross multiply, we get 35, 5 times 7, 13 plus 35 gives us 48 over 5, okay, so now we're left with negative 3 halves x equals 48 over 5, so we just have one more step to do. This is multiplied by x, so we have to get rid of it by dividing. So we do negative 3 halves divided by negative 3 halves, and then balance the equation. Since we divided by negative 3 halves on this side, we divide by negative 3 halves on this side. Cancels out over here. We'll do this on a separate sheet of paper, and this is your answer. So to divide fractions, we have 48 over 5 divided by negative 3 over 2. So if you're multiplying fractions, you just multiply straight across. We would do 48 times negative 3, 5 times 2. But when we divide, you can either flip this fraction over and multiply, or you can just cross multiply. And this number goes on top, and this number goes on the bottom. So we have 48 times 2 is 96. We have 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. And let's see, can that simplify? I don't believe so. 96. Yeah, 96 is divisible by 3, it'd be 32. Okay, so this is divisible. So we can reduce this fraction because they're both divisible by 3. This would be 32 over negative 5. Or in other words, our x equals negative 32 fifths. That was long, but memorize it.